Hi, welcome to my channel. This is the first rifle I bought on impulse, and I didn't know anything about high point, and I didn't know where it was made. All I knew was it was a 9mm semi-auto. The motivation was the price. Basically, it was on sale for $400 Canadian or $300 US. The retail is $550. And somebody I knew who didn't know me too well said that, oh, don't disassemble it. And of course, I basically took that as a challenge, and so I bought it. And so today I'm going to do a review, and then I'm going to take it to the range and see how it shoots. Now, what did I get in the package? I got a manual and a trigger lock. Okay. Plastic, and a like a wrench key, and there's two swivel and two sling buckles and a cheap sling, and of course this rifle. Now let's get the specs out of the way. The AOL is 33 3/4. The barrel length is 19 inches. The LOP is 14.5 inches. The weight is 7 pounds, and the trigger range from 6 to 6.5. Okay, I went through the manual, and the only thing I found of interest was on page 10, and it says passive internal drop safety. Okay, and I'm just going to read a section here. It says it has a weight that counteracts sears movement to prevent the carbine from firing if dropped on its handle grip, in brackets. So that's the only thing of interest I found. So why don't we start the review from the back and work our way to the front. Now, I did check out some YouTube, and some people did not like the look of it. They thought it was ugly. Actually, I don't. I think it kind of looks kind of futuristic. But let's go with this back. It's basically all plastic, except around here is quite a bit of metal. But the buttstock is plastic. This has a spring, as you can see. Now, it's not needed for a 9mm, but it also comes in 380 ACP and 40 S&W, 45 ACP, and 10mm auto. Yeah, maybe for those bigger rounds you might need that. But what I really prefer they do is have this butt pad fixed and put a rubber on the back, and instead make this foldable, which would be more useful if it was foldable. If they did all that into a folding mechanism, which would be far better than this. Okay, moving along, it has a removable, I guess it's a cheek rest. You can put different heights, that might be optional. They also have brackets. They sell two brackets on each side of here. Okay, they just like a little clip, and what you do is that you take your magazine and you just basically clip it on either side. Okay, it's not a very expensive option, I presume. Okay, so all right. Oh, by the way, before I forget, the swivel, you basically replace these screws. You just remove the screws, but you use the nut, and it'll stick in like this. Okay, so that's basically what you use it for. You would not use it for here, because, well, you could if you want to, but it's not. But it's mainly designed for back here. Okay, because of the length, I would presume it's designed for here, but over here it would stick out, so it's not for that. Okay, so you could choose these two, replace these two screws with the swivel if you want. Okay, that's what it's designed for. So let's move along, and you come to let's say the grip. The grip, it's quite comfortable. I find it a tad big. Then we come to the trigger. Yeah, it's not particularly good. And this magazine is proprietary. And in Canada, any semi-auto center fire will be pinned to 5 rounds, and it does. There's no actual hint where it was pinned. I'll have to take it apart, but it does say 5 round restricted. Okay. Okay. Moving up to here, this is all plastic, the grip is all plastic, this lower part is all plastic, this is metal, and then it's on, it's above that is a strip of plastic rail, and then you have sheet metal sights. It's kind of a funky looking. I don't know whether it's really needed to have it this long, because it's taken up a lot of real estate on the rail. So if it was just down to here, it would be better. It was designed to be removable, and then you would put your optics. Yeah, so that's what it is. This rear sight is an aperture, one size. It's about 1.5 to 2 millimeter in diameter. It does windage. Okay, there's a slotted screw on the right side. You would turn for windage, and then there is also, it does elevation, and again there's a slotted screw on the back here, and the windage is this one on the right. Okay, and of course these two screws undo to remove it. I think it might even be 3 screws. I'm not quite sure right now, but this is definitely removable. And if it's removable, you would have about 8 to 9 inches of plastic rail. Now, I don't know why they just stopped from here to here, and why they didn't go all the way forward and added another about 4 inches in front of this. Okay. So, what about the safety? Yeah, the safety is kind of a small for, for somebody really have big thumbs. You're gonna easily miss it. It's not really that easy to operate. They should at least have this sheet metal bend out a bit, okay? And that's what I would have prefer. And this would be safe, okay? And this would be, it's not that easy to catch the safety with this, okay? You really have to do it this way. So I'm thinking that if they turned up on the sheet metal, made it a little bigger and turn it up, and so people could have a grip on that. Now, why didn't they do that? I don't know, because you already have this big ass caulking handle there already, so you're not gonna, it would not be any disadvantage to the width, because of your caulking handles there already. Now this caulking handle has this free turning wheel, okay, and the travel is quite small. It's about, I would say maybe 1.5 inches. Okay, on the side it says model 995 High Point Firearms, Mansfield, Ohio, 9mm by 19. Okay, and then we come to the handguard. This handguard is kind of a unusual kind of handguard. I'm kind of wondering why they didn't make an M-lock out of it, because it's really lacking rails, and doesn't have any over here, and a small, about 3.5 inches on the bottom. But if they made this into an M-lock, why not? Then we would dispense with these, with one of them anyway. You would dispense with them and use a M-lock swivel. In any case, moving forward, you have another about 2.5 to 3 inches of rail just below the barrel. And this barrel is not blued, it's actually like baked paint black. It's kind of a weird shiny color. And this front sight is quite tall, and basically funny, what's holding it in position is this basically plastic rail, and that's why you see it's shaped like this. But it's so easy to have this front sight being so tall to move back and forth 2 to 3 millimeter, and you know it's I don't know why they did this, but it doesn't. I'm not particularly crazy with the front sight posts, but I guess when I disassemble it, I would have a better idea. Now they have this tool. It's like a wrench, and it's more useful for disassembly. But if you're adjusting, since we're talking about sights, when adjusting the height, you would use this. It's six-sided, and you'll go over here, and this is what you would use. It's like a wrench. Okay. Now, the same six-sided, the smaller one, would also fit for the cocking handle if you want to release it or put it on. Then you come to the muzzle, and the muzzle does have a threaded protector. Now I don't know what it is, so I'm going to have to type this in once I find out what it is. And I'm looking at the 9mm barrel, and it looks kind of thin, the barrel. So I'm not even sure whether this is chrome lined or not. I will have to test that, and I'll have to type that in. So basically that's about it about the review. And but before I do the full Monty on this, I'm gonna have to go to the range and find out. Some people say it's quite accurate, so so I'm just gonna try that out, try it out, and then come back. But otherwise, you heard me before say that you get what you pay, and so for $400 Canadian, I wasn't really expecting a lot, so therefore I wouldn't be disappointed. Did find out it's made in the USA, which is a good thing, and am I happy with it? Yes, I guess I am. I'm not terribly disappointed with it so far, and let me go take it to the range, and then I'll have a more of a definite opinion. So I'll be back. Blazer 9mm, 115 grains. Through high point 995, and the sights became loose. I am back from the range, and I had two major issues. One with the cocking handle, and the second one with the front side block. Both became loose within 100 rounds. In spite, I tightened the screw and the two-set screw. It prior to going to the range, they both still became loose. This actually fell off, and this one actually flopped down. So those are the two major issues. The next three is just for your information. This is too much movement for my liking. I'm not used to it. I would have much preferred it's just being fixed with a thin rubber pad. If they were to spend all that energy in designing and manufacturing into a folder, I would have much preferred that instead. If you're going to use any sort of optics, you're going to have to remove the iron sight that was here. It's very simple. Just unscrew the 4 screws and the iron sight will come off. And using an optic, that's why it's not a big deal that the front sight post flopped down, because I wasn't using it anyway. Now thirdly, regarding the magazine, because it's proprietary, it was limited to 5 rounds, so it was a pain in the ass. I would have much preferred they used pistol rounds, which would be limited to 10 instead. So what about the reliability? Well, I fired 150 rounds, a combination of Blazers and Winchester, and there wasn't a single hiccup. So I was very pleased with the reliability of this gun. Now, what about the accuracy? Well, what they say about this gun is all true. Everybody says it's very accurate, and that's true. But I would say it depends on the ammunition you use. I was using Blazers, and this target is Blazer 115 grain at 50 yards using a red dot. It's very accurate. Now, I did use Winchester, and I was all over the place with that, so I'm not going to even bother mentioning the results from the Winchester. But with the Blazers, I was getting 2 3/8 here, 2 3/8 here, 1.5 here, 1.5 there, and 2 inches. And if you equate that to 100 yards, it comes out to 3.9 inches. That is very good for me. Now, if you're a better shooter, obviously your results would be better. Now, I did also use a LVPO, a scope, and I was consistently getting between an inch to an inch and a half. So closer to an inch and a half. So those are very, very good results. So is this worth buying? Well, prior to doing the full Monty, I would say yes, at $400 Canadian, $300 US, it is worth buying. So thank you very much for joining me. Please hit the like button and subscribe.